Hello, welcome to my channel Sewing with Sewing. Today we're going to be talking about how to make a peplum, but the peplum is going to be 720 degrees. What makes it different? What's so spectacular about the 720 degrees peplum? 720 degrees peplum is more wider. We have more fold than the 360 degrees peplum, than the 180 degrees peplum, and the 90 degrees peplum. So for 720 degrees peplum, we need two full circles, okay? Because each circle has 360 degrees. Each circle has 360 degrees. So when we do this, we have 720 degrees. To be able to get how we're going to fit because we're going to be cutting our circle on a square fabric. So to be able to do that, we need to be able to get the radius. The radius is just here, the distance between here and the center point, between one center point and the edge of the circumference of the circle. But let's not go into that. So basically what we have to do is that we need to get the width of where we're going to put the peplum, okay, where the peplum is going to stay, and that width part is the radius part. We want to calculate that part. Remember that we're using two circles, okay? So when we join these two circles together, that means that the width that we're going to use is 36 inches, okay? But we're using two peplums. We're using two 360 degrees. So we're going to divide this width by 2 because we're using 2. So that gives us 18 inches. So that means that when we do one peplum for 18 inches, we do the other one for 18 inches. By the time we merge them together, it must be able to go around the waist of 36 inches, pardon me. So we get 18 inches. So we're now going to find the radius of this 18 inches. And the simple formula is 18 divided by 6.2. Anything you want to find the radius of it divided by 6.2. Okay? And that gives us 2.9. That means we're going to be working with a radius of 2.9 for the first 360 degrees. Then we're going to work with the radius of 2.9 for the second 360 degrees. So aside getting the radius of 2.9, how long do we want the peplum? I want the peplum to be 10 inches. So we're going to add 2.9 plus 10 inches. Remember also that we're going to be joining. It's going to be length of 10 inches. Remember also that we're going to be joining. We'll be closing it up, because aside using this, I'm going to also close it up with crinoline and also close it up with the lining, with the main material. So we're going to use 1 inch to neaten it. So we'll add 1 inch here. So by the time we add this 3.9 plus 10, that gives us 14.9, approximately 15 inches. Okay, so what do we do now? Let's go back. We've calculated that what we need now is 15 inches. That means that this is our fabric here. This is our fabric. I've already cut it into 4, as you can see. Okay, if you look at it like this, it is folded into 4. This is the middle of it, and this round like this gives us 360 degrees, okay, for this fabric. But we're going to cut it. We're going to divide it into 2 equal parts, and it's going to be into a square. Assuming we're cutting 180 degrees, we'll just be using this side alone. We'll just have folded into 2 and cut this side alone. But we're doing 360, so it's a full. We're going to use 4 sides of it. So after folding it like that, we now come and fold like this, and I get a perfect square. Okay, so we have it double this side and double this side. So what do? We have calculated that we need 15 inches. So let's come here and see, do we have up to 15 inches? Yes, we have enough here, 15 inches. We have enough here, 15 inches. So we're first going to take our radius. Our radius is 2.9. That's approximately 3, but we'll try and leave it at 2.9. We mark here 2.9 also. 2.9. Come here, mark 2.9, 2.9, 2.9. Then we draw a circle. Then after we do that, we now come down. Remember we said we have 15 inches. We still continue from there, because our 2.9 is inside the 15 inches. And you come down and start marking. Mark out your 15 inches. Mark out your 15 inches. Here we connect our dots, then we cut out. Good. So here we go. This is it, and this is it. So we come here now and we flash open one side. Okay, but before we flash open one side, let's cut out the second peplum. We're going to cut out the second peplum and I will show you, because remember we have 2 peplums. Okay, but let's go ahead. Let me slash it so that we can see. Here it is. This is the first one, as you can all see. As you can see, this is the first peplum that has come out. So we're going to join another one, and you see we still have more folds there. Let me go ahead and cut out the second one, and we'll be back to show you the end product. Okay, just to show you the placement, I have placed the first peplum. This is the first peplum. I've placed it on the fabric for the second one. So now I'm going to cut. Just wanted to show everything. So there we go. That's one of the corners, one of the folded column. So this is our second peplum. So what we're going to be doing now, what I'm going to be doing now, is joining these 2 peplums right here. But if we go ahead and measure this radius, okay, let's measure what we have here for one of the peplums. Okay, let's go ahead and measure and see what we have and see if we're right on track. So this is the main fabric that we're going to use. So we're going to put our main fabric, we're going to fold our peplum on our main fabric. Okay, we're going to arrange our peplum on our main fabric. Let me hurry up and do that quickly and come back and show you. So I've placed the fabric, I've folded the fabric. Now I just want to cut it out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the second one. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the second fabric. After cutting out the second fabric, I'm going to iron fusible lining onto this lining here, onto the lining, so that to give it a bit of structure. Then I'm going to come back and show us how we're going to place the crinoline at the back. So I've cut out the second peplum on the fabric. I've cut out the 2 peplums and I've slashed them. Okay, so this is going to be the peplums. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my sewing machine and join them at the edges here, join them together to a long strip. Then for the lining, okay, for this lining, because I want to give it some structure, I'm going to use this gum, this fusible interlining. Okay, some people call it paper gum. In Nigeria we call it paper gum, the sugar type. Okay, it's going to give this structure. After I finish, I'm now going to take my crinoline, this crinoline hair or horsehair braid. Okay, I'm going to put it at the end. When I'm done, while I'm doing it, I'm going to show you the process on how it's going to be done. One important thing to note, which I think I should tell you, is that while you are fixing the interfacing lining, that is the paper gum, always make sure that you cut the lining, and since it's a peplum, cut it the same pattern with the fabric you're going to put it on. If not, it's going to have a stretch. Okay, so please, point of note, make sure that your paper gum is cut the same pattern with the fabric that you're going to put it on. It makes it easier to work with and easier for it to be stable without any wrinkles. So I've ironed on the cloth gum, the paper gum onto the lining. Ironed it on, and I've trimmed off all the excesses. There's still a little bit more, which I'll trim off. All these excesses at the corners there, just to neaten it up after trimming it off. But before I ironed it down, I joined the two sides. I joined the two peplums together with 1/2 inch right there, with the 1/2 inch, so it's now become one full round peplum. Okay, 720 degrees. So now I want to show us how we're going to be applying the crinoline. We're going to be putting the crinoline on the lining, okay, that we have put the paper gum on top. But when you're applying this crinoline, you have to leave like 1/2 inch, okay, from the edge of the fabric. You leave like 1/2 inch from the edge of the fabric. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to pin down mine so that it will be easy. Okay, you leave 1/2 inch also at this side, okay, at the tail end of it. Then also leave 1/2 inch also when you're about to do your sewing down there. So I'm just going to go all around and pin it down, and when I pin it down, I'll take it straight to the sewing machine where I'll sew and you'll see. So here we go. So I finished sewing down my crinoline onto the lining. Okay, so what we're going to do now is that we're going to take the main fabric and attach it to, we're going to do front, the right side to the right side of the lining. Okay, then we're going to attach it by sewing on this 1/2 inch here that we left here. That's where we're going to sew, so that we're going to use it to turn it over. I like starting from the joining of the two circles, so that it's going to be equal on two sides and it won't drag. So that's why I've pinned it in the middle where I joined both of them, so that it will align. So I'm going to continue. So just right here in the middle, I like joining it in the middle so that it will align. I'm just going to continue. Join the lining to the fabric. You join it on that allowance that we left from the edge of the lining. So this is the end product after joining and ironing. You can see the peplum looks really good. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this channel, please like this video, share the video, and also subscribe. Thank you. Bye.